Welcome, dear readers, to a gripping journey through the tumultuous history of Cuba, a once thriving island nation that succumbed to the clutches of communism. In this enthralling article, we delve into the events that led to the rise of communist socialists in Cuba, their subsequent policies, and the devastating consequences that transformed a once beautiful, prosperous Cuba into a land of poverty and despair. Brace yourself as we unveil the tragedy that unfolded, leaving an indelible mark on the Caribbean gem. Cuba, with its picturesque landscapes and vibrant culture, was once hailed as the Pearl of the Antilles. The island enjoyed great prosperity, attracting wealthy tourists, investors, and international businesses. However, beneath the surface of this idyllic facade, discontent simmered, igniting the spark that would change Cuba forever. The revolution led by Fidel Castro and his comrades in 1959 would come to define the fate of Cuba. Promising social justice, equality, and liberation from the perceived capitalist exploitation, Castro and his communist forces garnered immense support among the disillusioned masses, ultimately overthrowing the corrupt Batista regime. The early days of the revolution brought a glimmer of hope, with promises of land redistribution, free healthcare, and quality education. Yet, as the socialist policies began to take hold, the cracks in the foundation became increasingly apparent. The once thriving economy faltered under state control, private businesses were nationalized, and foreign investments were confiscated. Under the Castro regime, dissent and opposition were systematically crushed. Political freedoms vanished, dissenting voices were silenced, and a climate of fear enveloped the nation. The government's iron grip extended to every aspect of Cuban life, stifling individual liberties and suffocating the spirit of entrepreneurship. Cuba's relationship with the United States deteriorated rapidly as Castro aligned himself with the Soviet Union, triggering the infamous Cuban Missile Crisis. The island became a geopolitical battleground, caught in the crossfire of the Cold War. The fallout from this international conflict further isolated Cuba from the global community. The promise of social equality in Cuba proved to be a mirage, as a new ruling elite emerged under Castro's regime. The Communist Party held a monopoly on power, while the majority of the population struggled to make ends meet. Inequity prevailed, as the leaders luxuriated in privilege while the people endured scarcity and rationing. Cuba's once thriving agricultural sector fell into disarray as collectivization policies failed. The government's heavy-handed approach to farming decimated productivity, resulting in food shortages and dependence on external aid. The island that was once a breadbasket now faced chronic hunger and widespread malnutrition. The collapse of the Soviet Union in the early 1990s dealt a severe blow to Cuba's already fragile economy. With the loss of its major trading partner and primary source of economic support, Cuba spiraled into an era known as the Special Period. Scarcity deepened, power outages became common, and everyday necessities became luxuries. Cuba's education and healthcare systems, once touted as socialist triumphs, suffered under neglect and limited resources. The lack of investment and a brain drain of skilled professionals left these pillars of social progress crumbling. The quality of education and healthcare declined, leaving the Cuban people without access to adequate services. As the decades passed, the once vibrant Cuban society became mired in disillusionment. Dreams of progress and prosperity gave way to despair, as a once hopeful nation witnessed its potential squandered by failed policies and oppressive governance. The Cuban people, longing for freedom and a better future, found themselves trapped in an impoverished reality, devoid of opportunities and stifled aspirations. However, amidst the gloom, signs of change began to flicker. With the passing of Fidel Castro and the gradual shift in global politics, a glimmer of hope emerged for the Cuban people. Reforms aimed at economic liberalization and limited private enterprise were introduced, offering a faint ray of optimism for the nation's future. Yet, the scars of decades of communist rule run deep, and the path to recovery remains arduous. Today, Cuba stands as a reminder of the devastating consequences of communist socialism. The once flourishing island, known for its vibrant culture and resilient spirit, now bears the weight of broken promises and lost potential. The legacy of the revolution is one of shattered dreams and a fractured nation, yearning to reclaim its rightful place among the prosperous democracies of the world. In conclusion, the story of Cuba's descent into poverty and misery under communist socialism is a cautionary tale that resonates with audiences worldwide. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of centralized power, oppressive regimes, and the erosion of individual freedoms. Let us learn from Cuba's tragic history and strive to protect the principles that underpin a free and prosperous society. We invite you, dear readers, to delve deeper into the rich tapestry of Cuban history and share your thoughts on the lessons it holds. Like this article if it has shed light on the plight of Cuba, and subscribe to our channel to stay informed about similar thought-provoking content. Together, let us explore the complexities of our world, celebrate the triumphs, and work towards a future where freedom and prosperity prevail. Thank you for joining us on this captivating journey through Cuba's tumultuous past. May this knowledge empower us to protect the values that have the potential to uplift nations and create a brighter tomorrow. Remember, the lessons of history shape our present and future, and it is through understanding that we can forge a path towards a world that cherishes liberty and human flourishing.